Shaquille O'Neal, a 7-foot tall basketball player, walks at a rate of 13 feet per second away from a lamppost that is 20 feet above the ground. When he is 10 feet from the base of the lamppost, at what rate is A, the tip of his shadow moving, and B, the length of his shadow changing? So first we're going to want to look at this picture on the right that displays the problem. Your lamppost here is 20 foot tall and Shaquille O'Neal is 7 foot tall. And then your x minus y is the length of the man's shadow, and your y is the distance walked from the lamppost. Your x is the distance from the lamppost base to the tip of the man's shadow. So now we're going to look at our problem and see what we already have. So we already know that y is your distance walked from the lamppost. So y equals 10 because he's 10 feet from the base of the lamppost. And your dy dt equals 13 because he walks at a rate of 13. And then we look and we want to start with part A. And part A was the tip of his shadow moving. So that would be dx dt. So part A. And you're going to want to set up similar triangles. So your smaller triangle is Shaq standing at 7 foot tall, and then x minus y, which was the length of his shadow. And then your biggest one is your 20-foot lamppost and x. So now we're going to want to set up a proportion. So our proportion is going to look like 20 over x equals 7 over x minus y. So 20 times x minus y, and 7x. So then you're going to want to distribute your 20x minus 20y equals 7x. And then we're going to solve for x since we already know what y is. So you take away 20x from both sides. Negative 20y equals negative 13x. And then to get x alone, you're going to divide by 13, negative 13, on both sides. And that will give you 20 over 13y equals x. Now you can differentiate the proportion with respect to time, but before you do that, you're going to want to take the derivative of this equation. So 20 over 13 dy dt equals dx dt. So now you differentiated the proportion, and you're going to want to plug in the information that you already know. So dy dt is 13. So you're going to have 20 over 13, plug in dy dt. And that's just going to give you 20 feet per second equals dx dt. So now we know that the tip of Shaq's shadow is moving at a rate of 20 feet per second. Part B, the length of his shadow is changing. To find this, you'll look, and your x minus y was the length of his shadow. So you're going to do dx minus y over dt. And this is the same thing as saying dx dt minus dy dt. So now you substitute for what you already know. Dx dt is what we found in part A, was 20 feet per second, and your dy dt was 13 feet per second, the rate at which he walks. And that will give you 7 feet per second equals your dx minus y dt. So that lets us know that the length of his shadow is changing at a rate of 7 feet per second.